This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update. Before I get it, and I'll mention this fan comment here, Just Incredible is in the news, also known as Aldo Montoya, as he apparently took money for a booking and no-showed the booking and then blocked the person that had sent him money. That doesn't surprise me. I used him for the Hannibal TV job last February, actually. And not only did he take his full pay for the booking, but he also literally begged me for an extra $150 towards what he claimed was a medical expense. And he was given that above his pay for the booking. He ended up getting drunk and only did a 4-minute match. He tried to pretend he had an injury in the match as an excuse for being too drunk to perform. And as you can see, that very night, he then tried to tell me that the injury angle was just a work because he wanted to do it again. So, total piece of shit, in my view. The first interview I did with him, and thank God the hotel that we paid for, we made him put his card down before, because I got a call the next day after the interview from the hotel because I had originally put down my card for it. And the hotel had informed me that he had stolen the ice bucket and pillows from the hotel. By the way, when he showed up for the interview, he appeared drunk, and his wife also appeared fairly intoxicated, and they had been driving with one of their kids. So there's a lot of alcoholism in the wrestling business. I did an interview with Wild Bill Irwin, aka The Goon, last night that didn't go very long because he was wasted and he decided to get rude. But I want to report today that the agent said the money I gave him towards that interview will be used towards another future interview because he agreed that interview was not worth anything due to his unprofessional behavior. WWE has hired 2 controversial new female writers, Millie Tamarez and Kenise Mobley. According to reports, they've publicly stated on social media that they both dislike white people. So we know Stephanie McMahon has been looking at hiring more female writers for the WWE. If you look at the ratings and the demographics, it is mostly males that watch it. So you would think the best writers for a male program, and you can even look in the audience, there's very few females. Maybe you'll change it and more females will watch, but it's mostly a product for men. And there's only a handful of girls. I'm not opposed to having female writers. I'm actually opposed to having all writers. I like the idea of having bookers with wrestling experience, because I think writers, other than when it was basically Vince Russo and Vince McMahon and Pat Patterson, or Pat Patterson, Vince McMahon, and Bruce Pritchard, when you're having like 20 writers for a certain TV show, I don't really think it's a good thing. But that's just my opinion. I know nothing about these two other than the reports I've read on that. Ariel Helwani, the MMA reporter's contract with ESPN ends in about 2 weeks, and he says he's not re-signing with them. I'll say this one more time because I'm only giving it till tomorrow. I am selling my wrestling boots that I wore as Hannibal. The highest bid right now is $350. You can email me, greatnorthwrestling@gmail.com, if you'd like to make a bid on them. I wore those for most of my matches against Abdullah, the famous backstage scene I had with Lanny Poffo, and I just don't want them. They've just been in a box. I don't plan on wrestling again. And just like anyone that sells anything, I have the right to sell it. Some people are like, oh, it's sad you're selling it. Oh, you must be hurting for money. No, I just don't want them. And maybe some fan out there does want them. And as I continue to get popular, I do get the most monthly views by far of any shoot interview for wrestling on the internet. I am the #1 wrestling interviewer on the internet. That is a fact. Those are only going to increase in value. Thank you to Tim Horn for giving me a $10 super sticker. I really appreciate it. David, thoughts on Chris Benoit's death? He's a monster. He's a despicable monster. Anyone that kills a kid, I hope that there is a hell. I don't really believe in hell, but I hope he'd be burning in hell. This fan says Just Incredible also sold merchandise to fans, including him, and didn't actually send anything and kept the money. Neo is making a joke. Colonel Quayle saying hello. Hello, David. Mr. Old School, what a scumbag. Mirrored the wrestlers can't stop getting in trouble. That's tragic. While both Credible and the Goon would have access to the WWE rehab program, unlike normal people with issues that would have to pay for rehab. Yes, Mike, Credible is a jobber. As a human being, he is a jobber. Al says, thanks for trying with Bill Irwin. Raymond, why do people book that junkie? Because people want to give him second chances, and when he's clean, there is a nice side to him. But he's a weirdo. David says, how's Piper? She's great. She's sleeping under my desk right now. Herb Simmons says some of these guys never change. He's a promoter in St. Louis. He actually provided that Wrestling with the Chase documentary that I put up earlier this week. Has about 10,000 views. So thank you, Herb, for letting me put that one up. Tim, I can confirm that he has not got his life turned around. He's a scumbag. Thank you, Lewis. Michael laughing about the stolen pillows. David, any more interviews after that bad one gone on? There hasn't been anyone near as bad as that. As I already mentioned, Juventud Guerrera was a nightmare to deal with and a true scumbag as a person. But even though he really dragged on the interview, his match that night at an event was before intermission, and rather than just doing the interview at the arena during the second part of the event, it was like 2.5 hours after the show that he finally left the arena. Then he wanted to do it at a restaurant, which would have been horrible audio quality. Then he agreed to do it at a studio, but he demanded alcohol and weed. Then he didn't even go the full hour. And then he was rude to me after the interview for saying he wasn't pleasant to deal with. I'm sorry. I would never book that guy. Would not recommend. There's no wonder Juventud has a terrible reputation. He is a scumbag human being. But at least he wasn't rude during the actual interview. Mr. Old School says booze has worked wonders for Sonny. Ghost Rider, yeah, Chris Benoit is a murderer. Can you imagine the horror that kid went through before he died? Just horrible. Cyber talking about Nia Jax being pushed to the moon. Who knows? I don't watch it. If you want to torture yourself watching that stuff, good for me, or good for you, but like, my time is valuable, and I don't want to waste my time watching stuff that I don't find entertaining. Michael says, sounds like a couple of great writers. Ratings should skyrocket. Charles says, these women look cringy at best. David would like to see Great North Wrestling to the USA. I don't know about that, but I am talking with a lot of people about US collaborations in Texas, as well as Florida and some other states. I don't know if there's going to be a collaboration with the Hannibal TV and this company, but I do like to see that Raven is going to be returning to the ECW arena September 18th with apparently some sort of mystery disciple. So I will be following that pretty closely. This show looks like it could be pretty interesting. Battleground Championship Wrestling, September 18th at the ECW arena. Someone says diversity hires. Benny Watts says more proof Vince isn't running things anymore. Yeah, and for all the people, again, that say Stephanie and Triple H would turn everything around if Vince passes away. Stephanie, I'm honestly not sure she knows what males 18 to 49 want to watch. She's getting up there in age. I don't know if she's in her 50s or not yet. She's a female. Triple H is got a 0.13 rating for NXT last week. The Pope of Sports says wrestling and boxing movies all suck now. He's going to be watching with Mayweather and Jake Paul tonight. That is tonight, isn't it? What was my ring name? My ring name was Hannibal the Death Dealer, which I never got the Death Dealer trademarked, and Luther has since used it. And now there's a team in Impact using it, but I was the first. But I'm not going to fight for something when I'm no longer a wrestler. Charles Wilson says, a booker, what a novel concept in wrestling. Exactly. I mean, there's a certain Texas wrestling company that is on the downward trend for sure. I won't even mention it. But they have one booking genius, and that's all they would have needed. But instead, they have like 5 people helping with the booking, and it just equals too many cooks in the kitchen. And in WWE, got like 20 cooks in the kitchen. More than that, actually. So it's not a good thing. Jakes is not a fan of writers in wrestling at all. James Nelson says Credible was a POS when he met him in Georgia. I don't think WWE is going under anytime soon. They have so many revenue sources, but I can see their current products getting less and less popular. Hello, Maria. Nice to see you on here. Would I do a Beverly Brothers interview? Yes, I would. What did you miss, Hannibal? Fast or rewind to the start, and you'll see. And I'm going to call it a night here. I really appreciate all your support. And, yeah, keep following us at the Hannibal TV, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We stream all of these on our Facebook channel. Have a great night too, buddy. Have a great night, Malik. Really love that I have such great fan support. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates.